Tonight on Size Eyes on the Skies.
Well, Paige, I hope you like roller coasters. We're about to go on the downhill this week with our temperatures. I'll have more coming up. By the way, happy birthday, Dad.
Plus, Rachel has your national forecast. All that and more on Tuesday's Size Eyes on the Skies starts right now. Welcome back to Size Eyes. I'm now joined by Caleb. Well, how are you doing today, Caleb?
You know, I'm doing just well, Paige. Yesterday at campus was totally a buzz.
Oh my
when it was
gosh,
about
yeah.
79 degrees. What did you do yesterday outside?
I went hammocking.
Hammocking?
Yes,
Okay.
by myself.
Have you noticed those signs around campus that say you can only hammock on certain trees?
Yeah, the old ones, they want to save those guys.
Yeah.
But I heard you were talking about roller coasters.
Yes.
I'm not happy about what's going down this weekend.
Well, we are going down this week, yeah. But then we're going back up for the weekend.
Yeah.
After this kind of winter-like week we're going to have here in central Iowa. But as we take a look at some of our major stories for the weather systems coming through, hold on to your hats because it's going to get very breezy out of the east tomorrow. 20 to 30 mile per hour sustained winds the next few days as this cyclone comes out from the plain states. Make sure to bring out your coats as well, both for the rain, snow, and the cold temperatures. We'll need some of that winter gear again before the weekend is going to be nice and relaxing with plenty of sun to come out as well, with temperatures in the 50s by the weekend. But right now, let's enjoy what we have currently. We have 64 degrees in Ames, 66 in the metro, and 70, the warm spot in Council Bluffs. So across the board, we're in the 60s, which is still about 10 degrees above average for this time of year. But we'll see how long this continues. Back to you, Paige.
Thanks, Caleb. Now for tonight's weather story. In 1988, a very strong cold front passed through northwestern Iowa, producing snowfall just one day after temperatures had peaked in the 80s. On the 8th, the temperature reached a daily record high of 88 degrees Fahrenheit at Sioux City, 87 degrees Fahrenheit at Lamar's, 83 degrees Fahrenheit at Sibley. On the 9th, those same locations received 2.1, 1.5, and 2.0 inches of snow respectively. And now here's Rachel with a look of what's going around the country.
Well, it looks like we got some typical spring temperatures around the country. We got 40s up in Minnesota, we got 80s in Texas. We'll have more coming up.
Welcome back. Now here's Rachel with a look of what's happening around the nation. Rachel?
Thank you, Paige. As I said before, we got some typical spring temperatures going on right now. We got 46 in Minneapolis, we got 80 in Hays, Kansas, we got 60s in Chicago area. Now if we head up to the northeast, it's still pretty cold up in Maine. We got, looks like we've got quite a big difference between the northern states and the southern ones, though. It's 80 in Washington, D.C. But if we head even further south, we got 70s, which is pretty normal, if not a little cool for Florida this time of year. And you know, hot like usual in Phoenix, 95 today, 71 in Bakersfield, California. Looks like the mountains are still pretty chilly, and if we head up further north, it's still pretty early spring-like temperatures. And if we look at the radar, we have a few showers moving through Iowa. We got system, looks like it's starting to brew up in the mountainous areas. Here, I'll get out of the way here, and you can see we got a few showers and thunderstorms in the southeast states. And if we look at the futurecast, going into Wednesday morning, looks like it's going to be raining for the commute, and got some snow brewing up in in the mountains. And as that keeps going, it looks like it's sticking with rain in Iowa, but we got snow up in Minnesota, and that might drop down as we get closer. But it looks like the rain's still fighting it out pretty well over Iowa. Snow to the north, snow to the west. We got some blizzards going on, and as you can see that on this map as well, we got some blizzard warnings through the Dakotas, Nebraska, Minnesota a little bit, Colorado. And then we have severe weather out in front of this system. Looks like Champaign, Illinois has a good chance to see some storms coming up Thursday. And if we zoom in on Champaign, looks like it's only shown as a 40% right now, but that'll show some isolated pop-up showers and thunderstorms. 73, then after that moves through, we're looking at some 50s, cooling down, rainy, windy Sunday, 45, and then temperatures rebound towards the beginning of next week.
Thank you, Rachel. What a rainbow of different things. Now let's take a look at tonight's trivia question. What is the highest temperature recorded in the United States? A, 127 degrees, B, 154 degrees, C, 134 degrees, or D, 111 degrees. We'll have your answer coming right up. Now let's have a look of what the week ahead with Caleb.
Well, thanks, Paige. None of those temperatures look too pleasant, for me at least. But as Rachel said, we have a potential for a blizzard coming through the high plains. Will it affect Iowa, and do you need your shovel for this week? Find out next. Welcome back to Size Ice. Thank you for joining us here and not tuning into Iowa Cubs game just yet, as is their home opener. But as I said, watch for your hats, bring out those coats, and enjoy that relaxing weekend and kind of our major weather stories heading into the rest of the week here. If my clicker will advance to the next slide, that would be very helpful, as we're having some technical difficulties right now. But the weather is going to change for the worse, with a lot of rain coming and a lot of wind coming as well, with the potential storm system maybe even getting up to a bomb cyclone strength heading up into the high plains. Currently outside at Ames, we have some light drizzle outside at a temperature of 59 degrees, still above average for this time of year, as we were close to 80 degrees yesterday. But the wind is starting to pick up out of the north-northeast, making it feel a little bit colder than it really is outside. Temperature is currently across the state. The warmer parts are in the south, is 65 in Ottumwa, 64 over there in Creston, and 54 is the cool spot up in Spencer, Iowa, in the northwest. I want to give a shout out to the Iowa Cubs home opener game here in Des Moines. The text goes a little long, but it says mostly cloudy with sprinkles tonight. Grab the umbrella if you're going out to watch the Iowa Cubs take on the New Orleans Baby Cakes. That's who they're playing tonight. First pitch will be at 63 degrees with the seventh inning stretch at 58 degrees with mostly cloudy skies, so it won't be too cold as you support your Iowa Cubs down in Des Moines. Satellite and radar loop right now. We see this stretch of stratiform precipitation and rain heading from northwest to southeast across the northern tier of Iowa for the most part. Ames, you got in on a few sprinkles this afternoon and this evening as you were walking home from campus. But again, this is mostly light rain the past few hours. No major accumulations have been going on to really affect any of the flooding we've seen recently. According to our weather models and our futurecast, we see that the futurecast continues to show the rain and continues to build the rain at a greater intensity as we go into the day tomorrow morning, with a heavier stretch of rain going through I-20 through Ames, Fort Dodge over to Sioux City, and places to our north like Sioux Falls, South Dakota, having kind of a mixed precipitation with the snow on the back edge there. And even some parts of Mason City in the Minnesota border are going to see some more of that wintertime sleet, kind of a snow-rain mix tomorrow. But as we go throughout the day, most of the rain will be in the warm sector of the storm still, so most of Iowa will remain in the rainy region, with the snow staying well to our north in Minnesota and South Dakota for the most part as we go through the day tomorrow. But you will notice those winds really pick up as the center of low pressure close to Omaha, Nebraska makes its way over towards Iowa on Thursday, really ramping up the winds from the south-southeast, bringing some heavy rain again towards the northern half of Iowa, but keeping the snow, potentially a foot plus of snow, up around the Sioux Falls and southern Minnesota regions. But as we come to Friday morning, we might see a little bit of that snow back building on the system, as we might see a few flurries as we head out to class on Friday, but for the most part, no major snow accumulations look likely in most of Iowa before it starts to clear out Saturday morning and into the weekend, and even further into the weekend. Active alerts right now, the biggest thing in Iowa continues to be the flooding we've had this past month, especially out in western Iowa and towards the Nebraska border. You can still see that we have a lot of flood warnings going down the Missouri River all the way through Omaha and further south down the Mississippi all the way to the Gulf. And we see that behind me here we have flood warning along the whole length of the Mississippi River as well. So watch out if you're on the other side of Iowa. And we have some flood warnings out in northwest Iowa. And as Rachel previously mentioned with her national forecast, we see a lot of blizzard warnings and winter storm watches to our north and west as well. So be prepared for that if you live up there. Tonight's forecast for Ames, a chillier 43 degrees Fahrenheit tonight, mostly cloudy, some sprinkles going on, but we'll see that north-northeast winds start to pick up from around 5 to 15 miles per hour as we go throughout the night. And that will only get stronger tomorrow as we see winds increase from the east at 20 to 30 miles per hour, only about 50 degrees. So remember, that's 30 degrees colder than we had on Monday, just 2 days ago. It's going to be a shock to the system a little bit, even though this is more of the typical average for early April, with a mostly cloudy and pretty wet day throughout the day as you head around to class tomorrow. Our extended forecast for Ames, we have some of these graphics aren't quite right with the pictures, but tomorrow we have Wednesday, about 43 to about 50 degrees for the south with a heavy rain. Rain kind of continuing all the way through Thursday into early Friday with that rain-snow mix, as we see temperatures actually go below freezing during Thursday and Friday nights before the weekend clears out and we see more moderation back into the 50s.
Thanks, Caleb. Let's take a look at tonight's trivia question once more. What was the highest temperature recorded in the United States? A, 127 degrees, B, 154 degrees, C, 134 degrees, or D, 111 degrees. So, what do y'all think?
Well, I sure hope it's not 154.
Ooh, that would be so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like 111 is just too perfect to
Yeah,
be
it's
that.
definitely more than that. I'd
Yeah.
say
It
like
can't be on the same digit. Yeah.
No.
it's got to be either 127 or 134. I'm pretty sure.
I always go with C if I don't know the answer for sure, right? So 134.
That's an ACT test-taking
Yeah.
strategy. You can
Yeah.
actually, this is past the trivia question, but you can actually choose C for every single answer on the ACT and get at least an 18.
All right, that's good to
fun
know.
fact.
Yeah.
That's what I learned from my test, like,
Hopefully we're all pretty good with our weather questions on
Yeah,
the ACT,
yeah,
all
yeah.
right? Around
They
here.
can do all weather questions, and I'd be happy.
Yeah,
I don't even think I had any on my ACT.
I'm not sure, but we do practice weather in the real life now, right? And so what
Right.
about that winter storm going up through the high plains? A potential, should I say, bomb cyclone, perhaps?
Oh my goodness.
Ooh,
I don't want to know
gonna be-
what it is.
it's gonna be quite inconvenient for the people up in the north. I'm hoping they didn't put their shovels away quite yet.
Now, what does bomb cyclone actually mean, so we can explain that to our viewers here?
It's when the temperature or the pressure drops by 24 millibars in 24 hours.
Exactly. So there is a scientific reasoning behind a bomb cyclone, which we had one in March, and we don't know for sure if we'll have one this week, right? But the models look like more and more likely it's going to happen.
I hope we don't. That's all I'm saying.
Well, but luckily we should.
I put my shovel away
Yeah,
in my
right.
vehicle.
Yeah,
It's not in my
same.
car anymore. I don't want it. I want to give it to my parents this weekend to get it out of my
Oh,
car.
All right. Well, it looks like we should be on the warm side.
Yeah.
Most of Iowa should be under the rain
Yeah.
and the high winds, of course. But
I'm okay with rain if it's not snow. I remember
Right.
around this time last year, on like April 13th, it was a Saturday, and it snowed 13 inches in South Dakota. I remember this because I made all of my graduation like posters because I was just stuck inside, and I don't want that again. I just want rain.
April 13th, it might have been Sunday, because this year it's on Saturday, this week.
Yeah, maybe it was the 12th. Maybe it was the 12th.
Anyway,
Well-
or the 12th, yeah.
Well, that concludes tonight's show. Please make sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can find every show on YouTube under the Size Eyes channel. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you on Thursday.